With Chesapeake Bay gleaming in the distance, we are inside M&T Bank Stadium near the Inner Harbor in Baltimore, Maryland. Here's a scene a short time ago. The Ravens introduced to this sellout crowd, and through a sea of pyrotechnics, out they came from the tunnel. We're set to go as the Ravens get ready to match up with the Indianapolis Colts. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. They'll fake the give to Taylor. Now Wentz. Hits his target, the tight end, Mo Alley Cox. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down. Got it up over the 40 to the 41. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4. Well, this defense for the Ravens, they were terrific last week in the win over Denver.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there, and they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
2nd and 4. Now Wentz. Flushed out right. He'll dump this off to Taylor, complete. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Little glimpse of his athleticism there and what they're going to have to deal with. He can use his legs to dance around back behind the line of scrimmage and beyond the line of scrimmage.
And wouldn't you love to get a copy of their defensive scouting report going into the week? Because that's been stressed the whole time. Keep him bottled up. Keep him in the pocket. But it's the first drive of the game and emotions are running high. Someone forgot that, trying to make a big play, and gave up a bigger one instead.
Left tackle Eric Fisher, the former Kansas City Chief, the guilty party. Now Wentz. They'll try and set up the screen to Hines. And some room to work. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Nyheim Hines, his first touchdown on the year. And the Colts are on the board first on the road here in Baltimore. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who is a complete guy who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll run for the first time with J.K. Dobbins. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. This defense for the Colts, they played really well in that win last week against Miami.
Anytime you can hold a team to less than 10 points, your expectation winning that game has to be sky high. In fact, you'd be absolutely stunned to come away with a loss in that one. Could you imagine going to the press conference and trying to explain that?
Flush to his right. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
And now Jackson will look to throw it. That ball caught. It's Mark Andrews, the tight end. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Jackson to Andrews on that one. First down, Baltimore. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter one. Throwing now, Jackson on first down. He'll swing this out to Dobbins. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's second down. Off the play fake to Dobbins, here's Jackson. He'll buy some time right. Catch is made by Marquise Brown. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Jackson on target to Brown for a Ravens first down. Jackson going to hold on to this. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. This defense for the Colts, they played really well in that win last week against Miami.
Yeah, they held them completely out of the end zone, just held them to a field goal. So they're not just hoping for a repeat here. They're hoping to do it even better. A shutout is their goal.
Eluding the pressure right. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
This is caught. It's Brown. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. They go back to the ground with Dobbins. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line.
Well, every now and then we have to let a cliche fly, partner. And in this case, what do they say in the NFL? Your best ability is often your availability. And this is an extremely durable kid coming out of Ohio State. Carried the ball every time they even thought about running it. Wore down defenses and able to break big runs late in games. J.K. Dobbins going to Baltimore, an absolute perfect fit.
That goes out wide to Murray. And he'll only get this to the 14 as he'll come up well short of the first down. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down. Tucker's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So, yes, it's only 3, but at least they're able to answer back after giving up the touchdown to start the game.
Yeah, I like the observation there because getting some points on the board, very positive for them. Feel a little bit better about things because if you don't score, you potentially have opened the door for them to score again, and then you're down 14.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They had the touchdown on the opening drive of the ball game. It was countered by just a field goal. So, hey, if your guys can do that for 4 quarters, you're in good shape.
Yeah, it is a team game, so that's just good complimentary football. But, you know, I know I'm no brainiac, but you trade 6s for 3s, things are going to work out in your favor.
After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Now Wentz on the bootleg. That's going to be caught by Allie Cox. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. That one good for 26 and a first down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Wentz going to give this to Taylor. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
That's the type of run that Jonathan Taylor gives you so often, and you just can't take it for granted. He finds a way to get those extra yards. The third running back taken in the 2020 draft, but he had the best numbers by far of any of them. 1,169 yards, third most in the NFL, and by the last quarter of the season, he ranked among the best runners in the league.
And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Here's 2nd and a yard. Running left, Taylor. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? 2nd and short, and they brought out the heavy package. Almost felt like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beef up front, and it turned into an easy first down conversion. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Into the red zone, Wentz. Taken in by the tight end, Doyle. And the Colts are going to have a 1st and goal as he's taken down at about the 8-yard line.
Carson Wentz had Zach Ertz and later Dallas Goedert during his time in Philadelphia as excellent tight ends. But I think he'll grow to like Jack Doyle as well with the Colts. That connection there gives him a first down.
They'll run here with Taylor, and he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Jonathan Taylor, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Colts are able to grow their lead. Solid blocking up front from the guys on the offensive line allowed him to get in for the touchdown.
Yeah, some might say that the guys on the offensive line were in concert. I used to have a coach who called it marrying up. Meaning, when you get on a guy, you just stay right there, and each guy has his own assignment. That allowed the runner to make the big move towards the end zone.
And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Their deficit is 11, 14-3, and needing to get something going here as they come up on 1st and 10. The throw right side is complete here on the first play of the drive. And they work this well upfield across the 45. The play began back at the 23, and they pick up 23. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Now a handoff for Dobbins. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down. Back-to-back 4-yard runs. Now, look, if they just do that all the way downfield, ball ends up in the end zone, but that's a little difficult to do.
Yeah, I think now 3rd and 2, that defense ready to stiffen up and stop that run. They'll try to run for it with Dobbins. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
They run the option here on 1st and 10. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. Give him 10 yards on the keeper, and it'll lead to a 2nd down.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it. But it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback. In this situation, it's really tough to figure out how to defend because they have plenty of room to still take deep shots at the end zone as they just did there. Yet at the same time, you've got to be ready for the short throw. In this case, when you see the cue that they're going for the end zone, retreat and make sure you have a way to play forward, back towards the receiver, and have a chance to bat the ball away as they did there.
And he's going to have the 1st down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good possession, 1st and 10. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here, 2nd down. We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. Meanwhile, Jackson's throw is on target to Duvernay. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8. 9th play coming up here on this drive. This is 3rd and a yard. Here's Jackson to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Andrews. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. And he will have the 1st down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th. From the red zone now, here's Jackson on 1st down, escaping the pressure right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Give the sack to Kamoko Toure. Still 15 yards to go, 2nd down. Another try after the 1st down sack. Jackson, they set up the screen for Dobbins. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. And for the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on 3rd down. To throw is Jackson. Oh, looking for Watkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Darius Leonard, the linebacker. And the return will stop them well inside their own 20 at the 15-yard line. Boy, he had to fit that into a pretty tight window over the middle. And, Charles, I think they were in zone defensively, weren't they?
They certainly were. Nice read on your part. And sometimes the quarterback isn't fooled between zone and man. Sometimes just fooled by the type of zone that he sees. Because oftentimes those linebackers will vacate and run downfield with receivers. In this case, he played a pure zone and was in the wrong spot for the QB.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down.
A deep ball down that right sideline, and he made sure that
I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. So that challenge, a successful one. Throwing on first is Wentz. This to Hines on the drop-off. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Second down at 4. From the gun, it's Taylor. Oh, he's got some breathing room. The 20. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Jonathan Taylor in the final seconds of the first half. And the Colts would extend their lead here just before halftime.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. So still time for the kickoff here. 1 second to go in the half as this one is away. Devin Duvernay now returning from the end zone. So we come to halftime here with the visiting Colts taking the lead to the locker room. As we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. The Ravens set to receive the football, trailing here as we resume action in the third quarter. Devin Duvernay now returning from the end zone. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line, so bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision, loses him about 4 yards. The Baltimore offense at the line set to get going. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball to the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now Jackson. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Come get some. Come on here. Come get some. He don't want it.
They go play action with Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
And he's going to have a 1st down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion. And defensively, pure frustration. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Jackson quickly out to Watkins. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. Here's a give to Dobbins, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down. Off the play fake, here's Jackson. Flushed out right. And that is incomplete.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
Still just the third quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on fourth. Now it's Jackson. And he's got his man, Marquise Brown. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It's a first down, his 4th catch of the game after having 3 in the first half. They'll run here with Dobbins. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
Now Dobbins again on second down. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Hit as he throws there, incomplete. The passing windows are just not there, and that's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this third quarter as he'll go for it on 4th down. Now, meanwhile, they go for it on 4th down, and my goodness, incomplete. The Ravens go for it, but come up empty. And the Colts are going to take over with a football. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Working with a 2nd and 4. Now a play fake. Wentz. Flush to his right. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen.
In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Patrick Queen. The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And indeed, that's what they'll do as they run it here. And that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the first at about the 21. They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a 4th and long. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Take it at the 37. That'll be a net of only 30 here. 40-yard punt, 10 on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you've got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board, so let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Well, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Jackson's throw complete here to his receiver, Brown. And the Ravens are going to be set up with a 1st and goal here as the tackle made at the 9. They'll run with Dobbins. And he'll be taken down after a minimal pickup, and that will take us to the end of quarter number 3. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. On 2nd and goal, Jackson. And that's incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
3rd and goal, Jackson. Eluding the pressure right. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Julian Blackman. And they get the football, but not much on the return here as he stopped at the 7-yard line.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive. Taylor's got the 1st down and more as he's all the way up to the 24-yard line. 133 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. Now Taylor. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down. As Sanchez on to punt here as he sends this one away. Fielded at about the 28. 42-yard punt, 6 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. Oh, for the 3rd time, Jackson going to be intercepted. Picked off at the 46, and he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. Well, I get it, Charles. Desperate times call for desperate measures. Down big, they just sent their receivers out, let it fly, but the defense, they were ready.
Yeah, and there aren't too many people left in this stadium that couldn't see that coming, but that's not a major criticism at all because you had to try it. What you're hoping for is one of your athletes out-athletes everyone else and makes a dramatic play.
And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
The Colts on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for the first with Taylor. And he is going to have a Colts first down. At least it appears that way. And he got it by maybe the length of a football. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. On the handoff, this is Taylor. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. He's having a big game running the football, but that one will hurt the yards per carry a little bit.
Yeah, but the average he's got so far, that's the type of average he wants to take with him to contract negotiations, doesn't he?
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Nyheim Hines, his first carry. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. They give to Taylor out of the gun. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down. Blankenship's kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. Well, he was a spectator for much of this game. This is his first field goal opportunity of the entire contest, but he's able to connect.
Yeah, he had a pretty good seat to this one, didn't he? But let's face it, all kickers that you and I know, they want to contribute. They want their opportunity, and he seized his.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. They'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down. Jackson from the shotgun. He'll check this down to Dobbins out of the backfield. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7 as that one officially a loss of 1. Jackson now. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. Here we go. It's Jackson on 4th down. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And boy, possession here turns over with a football already being in the red zone. And they'll indeed take a knee. And they will take a knee here. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. And they take a knee.
Well, they certainly didn't appear to be fired up about their options throwing the football. So, to me, this seems like a case of just kind of taking their medicine there, run the ball, see if they could pick up something. Instead, they were throwing for a loss.
So this one winds up an Indianapolis victory. And, you know, it wasn't a shutout. They did give up the points in the first quarter, but second, third, and fourth quarter, they held them scoreless.
Brandon, if you throw a shutout for quarters 2, 3, and 4, you're going to win a lot of games in this league. And this felt a lot like, almost like if you say baseball, and the pitcher goes through the lineup the first time and the hitters get to see him, and then they come out after that and the bats start blazing, right? I think they saw their best stuff in the first quarter and just shut everything down from that point on. What a great, convincing performance.
So for the Colts, they move back over 500 at 3-2 now on the year. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Houston Texans. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, the loss will move them back to 3-2 on the year. And they will get a home date next week against the Los Angeles Chargers. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.